All right. So, excuse me. I don't know why I was coughing. Let's talk about something silly and dumb that I saw the other day. Not that I really care. Well, I actually do care. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been doing this video, would I? But I care for not the reasons that most people probably would have cared. So anyway, here's essentially what happened. I was browsing. Full confession. I sometimes read them. Actually, I read them every single day just to know about all the lies that the news media is trying to propagate on us. I was browsing this tabloid gossip junk website that believes it's a newspaper that reports honest news, which it doesn't. I mean, these are people who still think that taking the COVID vaccine and wearing 5 masks was a good thing and that the lockdowns were necessary. You know, that sort of thing. And who obviously, these people hate Donald Trump. Now, you can say whatever you want about Donald Trump. I certainly don't agree with a lot of stuff that he's doing. I'm on the record, I think, saying that I supported Trump for the US 2024 presidential election because at that time he seemed like a reasonable guy, or he seemed more reasonable than his opponent. But after going into Iran and waging this war, which I am against and I think is wrong and bad, then he's sort of like lost on me. That and the whole Epstein files thing where he gradually releases them, that he doesn't release everything, and the JFK files which weren't released, I think, and lots of other stuff. But basically the Iran thing. Anyway, I don't know why it took so long to explain this, but I don't know. I was watching this image in this so-called serious newspaper where somebody had put the face of Donald Trump next to a cow, and they both made this expression or some such. And below the image was some text saying something along the lines of, "Can you spot the difference?" You know, and it was meant to be funny. Obviously it was funny. So here is a so-called serious newspaper comparing Donald Trump to a cow. What do you think would have happened if somebody compared former US President Barack Obama to an animal? I mean, just think. And I'm going to stop right there. What do you think would have happened? He or she would have been totally disgraced, cancelled, or whatever, being portrayed as being totally disgraced, would have been totally cancelled, would have been called a racist, would have been called every bad name under the sun, and probably that would have been the end of their career. Imagining comparing President Obama to an animal, that's racism, oh, that's bad. But, you know, comparing Donald Trump to an animal is fine. Now, I don't care much about that, really, because we all know most of these liberal leftist lunatics they're unfair in so many ways. But the major point that I want to make here, really, from a persuasion perspective, or actually, let me put it this way. Number one, this is what you're posting if you're in a Discord chat for liberal left-wing lunatics. This is what's funny for 12-year-olds. If you're an adult person and you're reading this so-called newspaper and you watch something like this, you're going to go, what the hell am I reading here? Is this like a serious newspaper? I mean, are you guys going to tell me about the truth? Are you guys going to report to me what's actually going on? And in the meantime, you're gonna post this silly image of Trump looking like a cow? It's so dumb. And also, just think about it from a persuasion perspective. You're ruining your credibility totally. It's like running not a liquor store, but it's like running it's like running a beverage store where you're selling beverages and you have a selection of Pepsi Cola and Coca-Cola, but you're only advertising for Pepsi. You never advertise for Coca-Cola. Well, it's obvious who you're receiving money from. It's obvious who pays for your kiosk or your store. And it's the same thing here. It's obvious who pays for this madness, this bullshit. It's obvious who these connections are. And it's obvious also the political direction that this newspaper is going in, even though it's supposed to be politically neutral, which is horseshit. All right, I'm gradually going to wind down my rant, but, I just can't help it. When I see this garbage, I just have to comment. So in closing, with respect to persuasion, if you're going to persuade people to do something, well, at the very least, be honest about it. If I'm going to pretend to persuade you to, I don't know, eat healthy, and then I'm posting videos of me eating burgers, fries, chocolate, pizza, ice cream, it's obvious I'm lying. Or it's obvious that I don't care that much. If you're going to pretend that you're politically neutral and you're only mocking one side of the political spectrum, well then guess what? You ain't so fucking politically neutral. And you're just degrading and ruining your credibility. Hopefully that was a lot of persuasion and sales and business lessons right there. If you want to learn more, then get subscribed to my email list. The link to do so is in the episode description wherever you're watching and or listening to this. And I'll see you there.